Yo, what is up YouTube? It's your boy Legend and I am back with another video. You already know what this is just by looking at the thumbnail. What if Naruto was born early and fell in love with Kushina and Mikoto part 12? If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. The like goal for this video was going to be 10 likes, but if we could get more, that would be nice. Also, here's a challenge for you guys. See if you could guess the 4 women in this picture. And write your answers down in the comments. Here's a hint. The redhead isn't Rias. Literally, all 4 of these girls are literally my, top waifus, whatever you want to call them, for Naruto, High School, DxD, and the Mangekyō. So, answers down in the comments. But without further ado, let's just get into this intro so we can start this what if. The scent of toasted bread and sizzling beef filled Kushina Uzumaki's kitchen. Sunlight poured in through the small window above the sink, spilling warmth across the wood grain floors and the neat little dining table that sat tucked beside the wall. Naruto sat there quietly, one elbow propped on the table, his cheek resting against his knuckles, watching her move. There was something hypnotic about Kushina that morning. The easy way her hair swung. The way she hummed softly. The way she tapped the edge of the pan with the spatula. The faint golden light seemed to frame her like something out of a memory. They'd gone to the bakery earlier that morning, walking side by side through the misty streets of Konoha, pretending they were just 2 ordinary people. But there was nothing ordinary about what happened between them the night before. Nothing either of them could easily forget. When she turned to grab the plates, her eyes caught his, and for a heartbeat, neither of them said anything. Then Kushina's mouth curved into a teasing smile. "Enjoying the view?" she asked. Naruto blinked, startled out of his daze. His face warmed immediately, but he didn't bother to deny it. "Maybe," he said, with a sheepish grin. Kushina laughed, that bright musical laugh that always seemed to fill a room. "You're impossible," she muttered, shaking her head as she set the plates down. But the faint pink coloring on her cheeks betrayed how flustered she really was. They ate together in a comfortable silence, broken only by the sound of forks and the soft hum of the village outside. The food was simple. A breakfast sandwich laid with crisp beef bacon, sunny side eggs, tomato, spinach, and a dollop of homemade mayonnaise on thick slices of sourdough bread. To Naruto, though, it tasted like luxury. He chewed slowly, savoring each bite, letting the flavors settle before he spoke. "Kushina," he said, finally swallowing. "If I'm being honest, this is the best breakfast sandwich I've ever had." She laughed again, trying to hide her pride behind a wave of her hand. "Thanks, but it's just basic ingredients on expensive bread. Nothing special." Naruto smiled faintly. To him it was special. Not because of the food itself, but because of where he was. For someone who'd grown up eating whatever scraps he could find, sitting at a table in a home that felt alive, sharing a meal with someone who cared, that was worth more than any feast. They finished eating and carried their dishes to the sink. Kushina ran the water, humming quietly again. As the morning light caught the strands of her hair, Naruto leaned against the counter beside her, just watching her for a moment longer. There was a quiet warmth between them, the kind that didn't need a spoken aloud. But somewhere else in Konoha, warmth was the last thing in the air. Meanwhile, at the Uchiha Council Hall, the Uchiha Council Chamber was a place of cold authority, its polished stone floor reflecting the light of the flickering wall-mounted braziers. Its long table lined with clan elders, all bearing the same crimson eyes that had ruled the clan for generations. The heavy silence that filled the room now was more dangerous than any battle cry. Fugaku Uchiha knelt in the center of the chamber, his fist pressed against his knees, head slightly bowed out of respect, or at least the appearance of it. His expression was calm, but his eyes burned. "Excuse me, sir," he said, his tone clipped. "But may I ask why I can no longer marry Mikoto?" At the head of the chamber, Kagami Uchiha regarded the young man with a quiet, measured stare. The old man's presence was formidable, not because he raised his voice, but because he didn't have to. The Mangekyō Sharingan slumbered behind his dark, calm eyes, waiting. "The reason," Kagami said finally, "is simple. My daughter has found a man she loves, one more suited for her than you." Fugaku froze. He lifted his gaze sharply, searching Kagami's face for some trace of humor or deception, but found only cold truth. The words stung worse than any wound. A better man? Impossible! No one among the Uchiha had trained as hard, fought as fiercely, or embodied the clan's ideals more than he had. Everything, every mission, every sacrifice had been for the future he'd envisioned beside Mikoto, and now this man was tearing it all away with a single sentence. A ripple of murmurs spread among the council members. Their interest piqued. One of the elders, Mibuki Uchiha, a sharp-tongued matriarch with streaks of gray in her hair, leaned forward. "Kagami," she said, voice smooth but edged, "if you don't mind the council asking, who is this man that has captured your daughter's heart?" Kagami's gaze swept slowly across the room, lingering on each of the elders before returning to the kneeling young man. His answer came softly, but it struck like a blade. "Naruto Uzumaki." The silence that followed was instant and absolute. Fugaku's body went rigid. For a moment, he thought he had misheard. But when no one spoke, when every pair of crimson eyes turned toward him with barely contained curiosity, the truth sank in like a poison. Naruto Uzumaki, a boy without a clan, a stray orphan whose existence was tolerated but never respected, a foreigner as far as the proud bloodlines of the Uchiha were concerned. And now, this boy, this nobody, had taken everything from him. Rage flashed through him like lightning. And before he could stop himself, the Tomo in his Sharingan spun to life. He surged upward, ready to shout, but a firm hand pressed down on his shoulder, forcing him back to his knees. His father's grip. "Sit down," his father hissed under his breath. "Now." Fugaku's teeth ground together, audibly, as he glared up at Kagami. "A foreigner?" he spat. "You're telling me my engagement, my future, is being thrown away for a damn outsider?" Kagami's expression didn't change, but a faint red light flickered in his eyes, and a slow simmering aura of killing intent spread through the chamber. "I suggest," he said softly, "that you watch your mouth, boy." The room seemed to darken as his Mangekyō Sharingan opened, its crimson petals spinning slowly, power radiating from him like a heat from a forge. The elder guards tensed instinctively. Even Fugaku's father's hand tightened on his shoulder, Fugaku's breath came short and harsh, but he dropped his gaze, clenching his fist until his nails bit into his palms. His pride screamed for him to stand, to fight, but survival demanded silence. The council remained hushed. No one dared challenge Kagami when he was like this. Finally, the older man's eyes dimmed, the glow fading as he spoke again, his tone once more composed. Mikoto's made her choice. The matter is closed. The engagement will officially be dissolved before sundown. Fugaku said nothing. He only bowed his head lower, though his mind was already burning with thoughts of revenge, humiliation, and the bitter certainty that he would not allow this to stand. Naruto Uzumaki had just become his enemy. And as the council adjourned, whispers followed him out into the halls like ghostly shadows, whispers of an orphan who stolen the heart of an Uchiha in a storm that was only beginning. Fugaku stayed there, kneeling, letting the rage he felt simmer. Everything he worked for ruined. He wanted to marry Mikoto for the sole purpose of getting the clan head spot. Mikoto being beautiful was just a plus, but now the clan head position was no longer guaranteed to him. It was no longer his. Now the clan head would be in the hands of some hybrid orphan, a little boy that wasn't even born in the village, who was born of Uzumaki and Uchiha blood in the village hidden in the eddies, is going to take his spot as clan head. And if he didn't take the spot, then Mikoto would become clan head, and that was just as bad. If the clan was led by a woman, it would make the Uchiha clan look weak. Fugaku stood up, his anger boiling over as he left the Uchiha Council Hall. He moved like he had a purpose. As he left the Uchiha compound, as he walked, his Sharingan slowly began to morph, as he gained an extra 3 tomo at the edges of his eyes, his Mangekyō Sharingan blazing with rage, as he made his way to the newly built Uzumaki compound. Fugaku walked up to Naruto's home and banged on the door. However, he got no answer. Fugaku let out a growl as he turned and left. The brat wasn't here. Fugaku left the compound and grabbed the first person he saw as he asked him, "Where's Naruto?" The civilian shrugged and continued walking, going about his day. Fugaku growled under his breath as he looked up. "Just wait until I find you, Naruto. I'll force you out of my way and take Mikoto back." Fugaku spent the better part of an hour looking for Naruto. And when he finally found him, he was out on a walk with Kushina, and he also had that large black wolf with him. However, Fugaku didn't care about that at all. He walked up to the 3 of them, and the first thing he did was push up on Naruto. Naruto extended a hand, pushing Fugaku back so he wasn't up on him, and spoke, noticing that he had his Mangekyō Sharingan activated. "What's your problem, man?" Kushina stepped in between the 2 of them as Fugaku glared past her at Naruto and spoke, "Because of you, my engagement to Mikoto has been called off. The dumb woman claims to be in love with you." The statement caught Naruto off guard. Hearing someone other than Mikoto say it was different. "Look, man, it wasn't my intention for me and Mikoto to sleep together, but can we please not do this here and now?" Fugaku's eyes widened. "What? You and Mikoto, what?" Fugaku shoved past Kushina, causing her to fall onto the ground. He then swung at Naruto, but to Fugaku's surprise, Naruto grabbed his arm by the wrist, and with his other arm, grabbed an underhook at Fugaku's shoulder, controlling his arm as he spoke. "Calm down, man. Now isn't the time to do this." Fugaku tried to yank his arm free, but he couldn't. Naruto's grip on him was something fierce. The two of them began to scuffle in the middle of the dirt path near the academy, and Kushina, who was now back on her feet, was now trying to break the two up. She wanted to separate the two of them. It wasn't because she was afraid for Naruto, or because she was afraid of violence, because she wasn't. The reason was simple. Naruto seemed innocent and sweet. He still had a bit of a baby face, but she also didn't forget that Naruto had a higher body count than everyone in the village, other than the Hokage, the White Fang, and the Sani no Orochimaru. She still remembered that in less than one day, Naruto had to fight for his life and was forced to kill countless cloud, sand, and stone shinobi just so he could have a chance at living. So Kushina was trying to break the fight up, mainly because she was afraid that if the two actually started fighting, Fugaku would get severely hurt. She's seen what Fugaku could do, and she wasn't impressed. The only reason why he was even recognized as a threat in the bingo book was only because of his Mangekyō Sharingan, which he relied on heavily. Kushina finally got the two of them separated, but Fugaku swung on Naruto again, causing Kushina to move out of the way. Naruto dodged the punch and threw one of his own. Kushina didn't see it, however, and Fugaku, he tried to dodge, but it still connected, though not fully, and that was with his Mangekyō Sharingan active. Fugaku stumbled back, but when he got his footing, he went to go after Naruto again, but one look at the 14-year-old boy made him stop for a second. There was a look on his face that startled him. The look was almost dead. It was a look that did not belong on a 14-year-old boy. It was a look that told Fugaku that Naruto was willing to do whatever it took to cause severe harm to him, to make sure he was no longer a threat, to make sure that he never put him in such a position ever again. And what made the look even scarier was the 3-tomo Sharingan slowly spinning in the boy's eye sockets. This was the boy from nearly half a year ago. The only difference was that this boy was far more dangerous. He had both of his animal companions with him. Arakan was coiled around his neck, hidden by his collar, and Shiva was 3 feet to his right. His Sharingan was no longer in its early 1 and 2 tomo stages. It was now fully matured. And finally, he was trained by Kagami Uchiha in how to use his Sharingan when he first got to Konoha, along with Sakamo Hatake and Taijutsu, Kenjutsu, and Ninjutsu theory. Yes, Naruto was far more dangerous. And that's not even mentioning the nasty little secret that he had. It's a secret that he didn't even know that he has. A secret so nasty and vile, forced on him by his own parents, that made the entire loving Uzumaki clan turn their backs on them, on his entire family at a young age. But guys, I'm going to end it off right here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. But without further ado, I am out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay blessed, y'all. Make sure to hit that challenge up.